What is going on, YouTube? What is going on, Kansas City? What is going on, everybody? And welcome to the Beat of KC. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lucas Murphy, and we are here today to talk about really a full-on recap and just a discussion about the preseason game number 2 between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Seattle Seahawks. But before I really start getting into the meat and potatoes of what this video is about, I want to remind you Chiefs fans what the intent of this preseason game was for. It really is to discover and see the talent that you have as depth on this roster. We understand that football is a very heavy contact sport. We saw it in this preseason game. We saw guys going out with injuries. It's just a very physical sport. We had a guy leave with concussion protocol. We had people leave because their hands are hurting, their wrists might be hurting, all kinds of things, legs. I mean, everything can happen. So what the intent of this game was for is to really kind of let your first string, your starters rest for most of the game, as we saw with Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and 90% of the wide receiver room. Those guys all got the opportunity to rest. Let the secondary come out and see what they're capable of doing. You have to have good quality depth on this team. Like I just stated, injuries are going to happen. You want to know that the guy behind you that's coming in is going to be able to fill a role and play to a level that is winning football. And so I think as we head into really the information I'm going to provide you in this video, just keep that in mind. And yes, the score did not turn out well. Again, it's preseason. The things we need to focus on are how did we perform in key situations? I do think we struggled in some areas, which we'll get to. So Seattle did defeat the Kansas City Chiefs 33-16. That's not a big deal. It's preseason. It's learning. The thing that was kind of, wow, like a shock factor was the fact that Seattle put up 477 total yards, including 270 roughly yards on the ground. Sam Darnold did come out, make his preseason debut for the Seattle Seahawks after coming over from the Minnesota Vikings. So it was a good opportunity for Seattle fans to see Sam Darnold. He did orchestrate a perfect 4 of 4. His opening drive. He did finish with a handoff, 15-yard TD run to Zach Charbonnet. Now, backup QB Drew Lock coming in. I think he has a chip on his shoulder anytime he has the opportunity to face Kansas City. He is a local Kansas City guy. He grew up in Lee Summit, Missouri. He attended Lee Summit High School. He went to Missouri, played for the Tigers, and then was drafted to the Denver Broncos. So really kind of, that's who Drew Lock is. So he came out with a chip on his shoulder, put up 129 passing yards, threw 2 touchdown passes to Jake Bobo, third-year receiver out of UCLA. Super excited for Jake. I do have him on my fantasy. It's a deep fantasy football league. I was able to draft Jake a few years ago, like I said, 3 years ago. And so really excited to kind of see his success. I'm hoping he has a good year with Seattle. Now, his performance was pretty good to see because it was able to really see where the Chiefs can improve in the secondary. He ran 2 pretty good crisp routes. They were pretty slick. There was some yak involved, and so I think it was an opportunity for the Chiefs to really see an area that they can improve on in the secondary. Now we're going to dive in and really talk about what went wrong for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, immediately out the gate, the 270 yards on the ground, that has to be fixed. And I get we had guys that just didn't play, like I stated earlier. You had a majority of your guys like Drew Tranquill. You had guys like Nick Bolton. There was a lot of defenders that are really heavily dependent upon in this game. Chris Jones, for example, they just did not play in this game. So, again, it really gave an opportunity for your backups like Jack Cochran, a few others to really kind of step up and provide an opportunity to play, to see what you have. We did see, Omar Norman-Lott, rookie, Ashton Gelati, Jeffrey Bossa, one of my favorites, and another one of my favorites is Noel Williams. Now, Noel Williams, I think, had some good opportunities. He did kind of step away with an injury, I do believe, and so, he was really kind of having some opportunities to step up and show what he's capable of doing, what he's learned through training camp. But none of these guys really made a huge impact. And so, but on a brighter side, a veteran tight end absolutely showed out, balled out once again, had an opportunity to really show Kansas City Chiefs fans who Robert Tonyan is. He did have a solid outing, 5 catches, 41 yards, and a touchdown. I really felt like he was building momentum for this offense. It just seemed to fizzle out. But when that was going on, to really hear Mitch Holthus, scream, touchdown, Kansas City, it was nice to kind of feel that again. And so you kind of felt like the momentum was building, but it did fizzle out, obviously, as we continue to sub guys in and out. Now, 2 things on special teams I was extremely excited to see. Jalen Royals ripped off a 49-yard kickoff return. I think what that does is that hints at a potential return role opportunity. Not saying he's going to be the starting return specialist, but I think it just shows you that you have another opportunity to see Jalen Royals in a different role. But that also hinders and hurts some of these guys that are potentially trying to fight to make this team based on the fact that they can provide a return role opportunity. Now, Sky Moore, he was targeted twice in the pass game. Unfortunately, he dropped both of those. And so he was intentionally drafted to come to Kansas City to catch the football from Patrick Mahomes. Now, he's had provided some opportunities in the return game, like I've stated. He ripped off a touchdown on a punt return in this game. It was just absolutely fluid and streamlined. It looked, he caught the ball and really just did what he had to do and scored. Now, what opportunity was that in the game? What depth was he facing on the Seattle Seahawks, defense, punt team? I'm not sure, but the fact that he was able to still return a kick still kind of shows he has an opportunity. But again, I think it's just important to see the fact that Jalen Royals has the opportunity to return kicks. Really is the big thing. So to really kind of wrap this up, I just want to focus on a couple things. I think Brashard Smith really showed you in just a minimal glimpse of what he was able to do. I've highlighted him before the game. One of the big areas I talked about was running the football. I think when you get down deep in a game like this, maybe the game plan changes. Obviously, you're still trying to score points. You want to stay in the game, at least make it relevant, even though it is preseason. But we did see some very good running from Brashard Smith. Super excited for what he can provide. I think a lot of people got the attention to him that he needs. Whether that's good or bad, Kansas City Chiefs fans are starting to become aware of who he is. Again, Robert Tonyan, I think, is going to make this team. So as we wrap this video up, I want everyone to kind of keep in mind and put down in the comments section, which areas of position players are you focusing on? Which areas do you think are going to have really the deepest position battles? Where do you think we need to improve the most? A lot of people are saying linebacker depth. So let me know down in the comments section what you all are thinking. And as I always wrap up these videos, make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. And I end every video the same exact way. Have a good day.